subscribe.
Hi everybody and welcome. My name's Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. Now today I'm going to do a video on memory and how to memorise music. I did a video with one of my students, Ed. I'll put a link to it coming up here now on how to help a student memorise, or almost like the kind of things that I'm going to be talking about in today's video, how you would specifically apply that to your everyday practicing. So I think there's kind of, one video where I'm telling you how to do it and how to make it work and how I do it, and there's another kind of video or another way, for you guys to see that what I'm telling you in this video, for you guys to see that in action. And if you watch the video with Ed, you will see everything I've said today. You'll pretty much kind of see that in action and how that happens and that sort of thing. But I thought I would do a video on me and how I do it so that I can show you, and then plus you've got that other video with Ed to watch on how to memorise, or how to help you memorise music as well. So I just want to say that everything I'm saying in today's video is my thoughts. I know there's a lot of kind of technical talk on memory and that sort of thing, and I'm not a doctor and I don't really know anything about memory, or I'm sure some of you guys out there, and if you'd be kind enough to share it in the comments underneath, then that would be great, and that sort of thing. So things that I'm coming out with aren't kind of it's just my way of describing it to help you guys. So I haven't kind of done a lot of research on the subject, because there's just, people have like degrees in this kind of subject. So the things that I'm saying aren't kind of true technical words. They are just words that I have used and I'm making up in a way to kind of convey my thoughts over to you. So in my opinion, I sort of describe it as there being two types of memory. There's, especially for music or playing the piano, or this video applies to any instrument, by the way, but two types of memory. You've got bonus memory and you've got forced memory. So this isn't technical, this is just my words that I've made up. So your bonus memory would be, for example, something that you've been playing again and again and again and again, maybe for an exam or a performance or a concert or something like that. Something you've played over so many times without really the kind of, without really the gain of memorising it, but you've played it so many times that you can shut the book and you can play it, and you haven't had to, you don't look at the music and you don't have to think about it anymore. You can think about what topping you're having on your pizza as you're playing it away, that kind of thing. So that's bonus memory. So being able to play something from memory that way is just the fruits of all your hard work. So you played it so many times that now you can pretty much play it by memory. The other way, forced memory. Now, it basically does what it says on the tin. It's forced memory is where you're forcing yourself to memorise something. So perhaps you've got a concert coming up in the next couple of weeks, you want to do it without the music, or for whatever reason you want to do it without the music, but you haven't got time to wait for your kind of bonus memory to kick in, which could take anywhere between kind of 3 months, 6 months, a year, something like that, depending on how much you're playing and your memory and that kind of thing. So forced memory is when you're trying to memorise something by force for a particular deadline. So forced memory, you need to get familiar with the music. So obviously you need to have been playing the music. You're not going to be able to kind of force memory something that you're playing from sight, a piece of sight reading. So you've at least got to have a good, fair kind of handle and grip on the music as it is before you can do that. What I would try and do is begin playing for starters, and then I would try and force yourself to play it by ear. So this is where you need to be familiar with the music. If you kind of stumble and not sure what's happening, then you need to use your ears. So if you think about how the tune goes, you can then kind of almost sort of force yourself into memorising it, hence forced memory, but you need to kind of stumble over it and sort of, it's no more than kind of memorising your times tables or memorising something in maths or memorising words for a play. You'd read them through first, and then you try and remember them without, and if you couldn't, then you'd prompt yourself, and until you eventually kind of got over all those little kind of hurdles and stumbles and things, and you memorise the whole sort of thing and you put it together. So you need to keep going until you have it in your brain. So, for example, this is a piece. This is a piece called Allegro. this a few times, but for example, what I would do is I would now close the book. So I'm stumbling a little bit there, so I've chosen this piece on purpose because I am familiar with the piece and my students play this for their exams, so I've heard it again and again and again. I've not really played it very much myself, which is why I've chosen this piece for you. So I do know it, so I do know how the tune goes, which is how I'm able to stumble through it, but I haven't played it enough to sort of be able to memorize it, but I just know, I know the tune, so I know when I get stuck, I can kind of, you know, I can find the right note on the piano that matches the one that I've got in my head. So I kind of stumbled towards the end there, but I did manage to get through it. So, you know, I'd go for it again. Less stumbles that time, so I'd do it again until I was 100% clear in my brain, all those kind of fuzzy grey areas that I wasn't quite sure at. You know, there was one particular bit that I wasn't quite sure whether I was playing a C or a D in my left hand, you know, but then if I played it again a third time, I could probably sort that out. So you'll notice if you keep playing the same mistakes again, you know, you'll begin to kind of, right, it's a C, it's a C, it's a C, and then next time you'll remember to play it as a C. So that's what I would do with memory. So you need to have a fair kind of a fair grasp of the music anyway. Otherwise, if you physically don't know what's coming, if you can't even sing the tune, you know, when you're playing a piece and you've played it so many times and you're out and about, you're doing your shopping or you're doing your housework or you're doing whatever it is you're doing, and you find yourself singing that tune in your head or whistling it or something, you need to know how the tune goes before you can even force yourself to memorize something. So I'd move on to the next bit. So I'm going to play it with the music. I'm not too familiar on that section, so I would probably play that one or two more times, but I suppose if I wanted to fumble through it, can't remember what it is now. Some areas there that I knew better than others, but as you can see, I was just trying them out, and I kept playing a C and it should have been a B, and then, you know, my brain is memorizing that it should be a B and it shouldn't be a C, and that sort of thing. So, you know, you can see me kind of exposed if you like, but that doesn't mean that I can't play with the music, because a second ago I did actually play it with the music, but now it's almost as if you've gone back a few levels because you're trying to memorize it. So I can do it with the music, I just can't do it without the music, but this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to force myself to play it by memory before I've even memorized it. So clearly I haven't played it enough yet to be able to memorize it, hence I haven't got that bonus memory, but I can force myself to do it, and I know that, you know, maybe a few more minutes worth of practice and I can now listen, play this through all the way through without looking at the music and that sort of thing. But the good reason, or some very good reasons, 3 good reasons why you would want to play something by memory might be: 1, you're either learning the piece of music in question for a concert or a show, or, you know, a performance of some kind, or whatever it is that you're doing. You And probably most importantly, you want to be able to let go of the script. You want to not be able to look at the music anymore. So when I'm playing along, I'm kind of looking at the music and I'm looking at my hands, I'm looking at the music, looking at my hands. So therefore I can't really concentrate on dynamics and articulation and, you know, putting all the kind of the expression and the extras and that kind of thing in, because I'm too busy looking at the piano. I'm too busy looking at the sheet music for one. So my brain's looking at my fingers, my brain's looking at the sheet music. However, if the brain wasn't looking at the sheet music and it was just looking at the fingers, then I could concentrate much better on kind of putting in all those extra bits of expression. So as I'm learning the music by memory, I'm learning to put in the expression as well at the same time. So I'm not I'm not being hindered by having anything else to look at. I can just look exactly at my fingers. Which is why you see very high-end kind of concert pianists at the Royal Albert Hall, that kind of thing, very, you know, world-class pianists, don't have any music because the music is just hindering them. They want to be able to memorise it. If it's in the brain, not only do you not have to look at the music, but it is in there. Once the music is inside your brain, it's more or less left there forever and you've locked it in. So therefore then they're not going to make mistakes either, because it's in the brain, but they might make mistakes if they're kind of looking at the music because the fact that they're looking at the music means they haven't quite got it in their brain, which could mean that they haven't got 100% grasp of the music. So that's another reason why you might want to memorise something. And of course the third reason is just for random impromptu performances. So you're around a friend's house and someone says, hey, can you play something on the piano, so you can pop out and so you can just come out there and knock out your piece and everybody's yay, well done. Or you know, you're somewhere else, you're at school and there's a piano there, or you know, whatever reason, wherever you are, someone's always got a piano or a violin or something and they always want you to play it. I've always gone to up to a number of parties and everybody's, yeah, let me hear you play something on the violin. Or I've gone to someone else's party and they've got a piano, I'll play something. So you know, it's nice to sort of be able to have something up your sleeve, as they say, and something you can play by memory. So that would be another reason. So I hope some of you have found that helpful. They're the main reasons for memorising something, which can be quite useful. But as far as memory goes, it's, you know, just sort of doing it bit by bit. You've got to have a handle of the music, so be familiar first. Start by playing the music and see how far you can get. If you do need some prompting, then, you know, always, you know, open up the music, have a little look, prompt yourself, close it again, start again and see if you can do it. If you are getting stuck and you're stumbling, try and fumble through it. Just pick the notes out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Do what I do. I wasn't getting the notes perfect, but I was picking them out and doing them by trial and error. That way I knew that it was a B instead of a C, which is what I kept wanting to play. And then just keep going over and over and over until you have it in your brain, until eventually all those grey fuzzy areas that you're not quite sure become crystal clear and there's no problems and there's nothing left for you to memorise. So that's a little video on memory. I hope it's been helpful. Please subscribe, check out my other videos, and I'll catch you all next time.
Subscribe.